people coming in. That's the biggest key right now is you want your people coming in because you're going to be able to build a stronger culture. You're going to be able to mentor the younger team members and help train them up and educate them on what you're doing. There's going to be friendships and relationships that are built. There's going to be office, the water cooler conversations, these serendipitous connections and ideas. Even team meetings flow so much better and are so much more productive when you're in person versus when you're online. When you're online, one person talks at a time. When you're in a group setting, you can have as many different conversations as you want. And so there's just a tremendous amount of value that is, this is verified in research. This is verified in data that being in person allows for greater productivity, greater collaboration. It serves to build that company's culture, which is incredibly important to the success of a business. And when you're remote, you don't have those. So the ROI is simply about bringing people together because the results you get are the ones that I just described. You get more collaboration, you get mentorship, you get better training. People can ask each other questions a lot easier. Things just move more quickly when you can poke your head in someone's office and ask them a question versus having to email them when's a good time to talk, right? If you pop into their office, that took 10 seconds. If you email them, that takes 10 seconds. Then you wait several hours for that person to get back to you. You set a date for 3 days later. So now you're 3.5 days past when you could have just popped your head in and been like, quick question. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay. Now things keep moving forward. Otherwise, you email someone 3 days later, you have the conversation. It's very similar to in the olden days, right? When we didn't have email, things were just slower. Productivity was down because you had to physically mail people documents. You had to mail them letters. And now with email, it's a lot quicker, but still the email to set up a phone call it's going to take time to get that set up. So there's just a lot of benefits and a lot of return on investment for actually having people together. So you got to design a space that encourages people to want to be there. And when you do that, you're going to get a much greater return on that investment of paying your talent. It was USAA calling their people back to the office. It was them recognizing that we are more productive. We have a better culture. We have better dissemination of information, right? Training of the younger people, mentorship, things of that nature when people are together. So they are calling their people back, just like in this article today is about Salesforce saying we are a far more profitable company when our people are together. They've got the stats to prove it. And then they quote in this article, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Twitter. They quote all these other businesses doing the same thing. Even though they're all cutting costs, they're cutting employees, they're downsizing their headcounts, and they're trying to figure out how to cut costs. They realize that what's going to be best for them in the long run and their profitability in the long run is having their people coming in more frequently. So they're all increasing their amount of time of in-person work days versus remote work days.